Hi, I'm Blanca Bruja, and this is my experience with the NYPD as a minor. This story takes place in 2001. I am 17 years old and going into my senior year of high school. I decided to attend the Dominican Day Parade that year with some friends. I'm originally from Queens and my friends were too, so we made our way from Queens into Manhattan, Fifth Avenue. We saw some of the parade, and then we made the decision to meet up with some guys in Washington Heights because one of my friends was talking to one of them at the time. So we take the one train up. We meet them at a building about a block away from Riverside Park, and they mentioned they have some weed. We go to Riverside Park, and we're just talking. It's a group of about, I'm gonna say 5 of us. We're all people of color, Latino, actual African, and Afro-Latino. We go into the park, and I remember that we made it all the way, I guess, to the edge of the park, right where the ledge is. So I remember we get to the ledge, and we get kind of settled in, and we do the preliminary look around, and I guess now in retrospect, it was kind of obvious that there were undercovers there. We were just like, okay, I guess it's safe. We pull, one of the guys pulls out the blunt, and I smoked, and the guy smoked. My 2 friends did not smoke. So we go through the whole process of lighting up, and they actually let us go all the way to the end. They let us smoke it all the way to the end. I remember this because I was high. Next thing you know, we see like this guy in the distance, and he's starting to walk towards us, and spirit tells me this is not good. So we kind of know, like, the guy's walking towards us. I noticed another guy on the right, and he seems to be fishing in a pond. He kind of gets up from where he's sitting, kind of, putting the stuff away. We basically got busted. And we got busted by a whole bunch of undercovers. And they all come up, and they start, just interrogating us, like, hey, we saw you smoking weed, and then they start the whole spiel, and they start patting us down. I had a Newport box, and in that Newport box, I had like a cigarette and 2 roaches from the night before. So they pat me down, they find the Newport box, they open it, they empty it, they see the roaches, and now they're like, oh, now not only did we just see you, did we observe you smoking, now we got you for possession of 2 whole fucking roaches. But I do remember that the cops who actually did the arrest did not want to take me. Because of course they took the guys. The guys just got on the bait, you're going in the van. Me, however, I guess because, I'm a girl, I guess they felt sympathy for me because I remember the cops, they did the pat down, but they were going to put me in the cuffs, but then they went over to the sergeant. And the sergeant was like this stereotypical white guy with a blonde buzz cut and glasses. Because I remember watching one of the cops go over there and ask him, do we really need to take her in? And the white sergeant said, yep, she got to go. But I have never been in trouble with the law prior to this moment. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God. And I rode around in that van with them for a few hours because they didn't have, I guess, enough perks to go back to the precinct. I'm going to say we made it to the precinct at East 119th and 2nd Avenue at about 10. And just to put this in perspective, I must have gotten arrested around 6. Even now, in me telling the story, it still seems so surreal, like you really arrested me. I remember asking the cop who was taking down the information, I'm like, listen, I'm a minor. Can I get my 1 phone call? Because I at least have to call my mother and let her know what happened. She's expecting me home. I'm her only child. The NYPD didn't see it like that. I was actually told no. I had to wait till I got to downtown in order to make my phone call. So that was really when things started getting stressing because my freedom is being restricted in this way, and I'm being, I was being held with people who, were being charged with assault. I was struggling to understand that, like why, I didn't do anything violent. This thought process must have occurred on the way to school, and I remember because I had to, I had to ask, the cops who were escorting, because obviously I don't have a watch. I don't have, I have no idea like how much time has passed. And then one of them finally took mercy on me and finally told me the time when we got home. So I had to have been about an hour taking us out of the van, filing us in, processing our names, and so forth and so forth. I remember sleeping very little. They did feed us twice. I'm going to say I was in custody for 20, from the time I got arrested up until the time I actually got released from arraignment, I'm going to say 28 hours. I'm in jail, and the reason I'm in jail is because of weed. And she's like, okay, I'm going to handle you when you get out of here, but at least I know you're alive, so go sit there. I distinctly remember that I had been called to see the arraignment judge in the morning, but because of when they had to fingerprint me, they were having issues fingerprinting me, so I wasn't ready, so I had to wait until I got called again, and that's part of the reason why it took so. Sure enough, I go in front of the judge, and they ask me, you have no priors, you're a minor, just keep your nose clean for 6 months, and we're going to see what you're record. It was just after that point, it just became surreal again. Like, wow, I really did all that. It really kind of didn't start hitting home. Like, okay, I got arraigned. They said keep your nose clean. They let me out. From that point, I had stayed from marijuana for about a year. It was scary, and I'm like, this is not worth it. And to be honest with you, I went through all that, and it was just, I chalked it up to life. It wasn't until I started, getting deep into cannabis advocacy and speaking out, and then realizing, oh my God, this happened. The experience I had 18 years ago is still relevant today. And that there's still, children whose whole lives changed because of, it really cracks me up. In some places, for some kids, it's just a youthful discretion, but like they'll put you in the back of the squad car and then take you home to your parents, and then that's it. But because I'm Latina and I was in, a Latino neighborhood, and I think that also for me, what kind of gets me in telling the story now is how arbitrary it was.